Hello and welcome to Deep Cuts the Game, the movie trivia podcast where I give you 3 movies and you give me the most obscure, minor actor that you can from each of those 3 movies. The deeper the cut, the more points I'll give you. I'm Jeff Penn, the host of Deep Cuts, and with me as always, my co-host, Alex Young. Alex.
Hey Jeff, long-time listener, third-time caller. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How was your weekend? Did you go to your local comic book store?
No, I always think about going to Free Comic Book Day, but I really hate the riffraff, so I never go.
You hate the riffraff?
And when I say riffraff, I don't mean normal comic book people. Like, I'm normal comic book people. I hate the people who only show up for Free Comic Book Day.
All right, fair enough.
It makes it almost unbearable. Like, I understand you want to get your kids into comic books or something like that, but it's always like a dad with like 9 kids. And they take like 38 comics and they just muck up the works. Did you go to Free Comic Book Day? I know you
Girl,
did.
you know I did.
You probably went to like 9 places.
I went to one, but I like that. I just want to circle back, and I like that you're like, I don't like going because of peasants, essentially. But yes, I did go. I went to my local comic store, Treehouse Collectibles. Shout out to that place because they're awesome. But it was also Star Wars Day.
That's right.
It's May the 4th. So they had a bunch of sales on like Star Wars things, and they dug out this like huge box of vintage episode 1 action figures.
Oh, wow.
All like still brand new because there were so many figures for that, but they're like 25, 26 years old. And they had everybody. Like, you know, you had your Jar Jar Binks and your Liam Neeson and Obes Kenobes. Like, they had everybody. So I bought one, mostly out of nostalgia, but also because it's the most boring action figure that's ever been made.
Oh, was it? Can I guess?
Yes.
Is it like the Chancellor?
Incredible. Yes, it was Chancellor Valorum. There's a Chancellor Valorum action figure.
Is it Terrence Stamp?
It's Terrence Stamp, which would be my deep cut. And it comes with like ceremonial staff. Like, it's such a boring, lame action figure. And I love any kid. Christmas 1999, the fervor of Star Wars, and the grandparents got the directive of, oh, get him any Star Wars figure, he'll love it. He's already got Qui-Gon Jinn and Mace Windu, but like everybody else is up for grabs. And all these grandparents are coming home with Chancellor Valorum's little Terrence Stamps for under the tree.
Were these the action figures that came with the little tag that had the audio clip in them?
Essentially, it was like hit clips, but it was just sound bites from the movie, so you even get to hear Terrence Stamp's voice.
I was a full-grown man, and I bought the audio thing so that you could put those little
that's awesome
audio chips over it. Yeah, and I had them all on like a keychain that I wore. No, I didn't wear it.
I wish you did, but I was reading about Terrence Stamp's involvement in this movie because I remember hearing years ago that he was mad they made an action figure of his character because he's barely in it. He's like immediately deposed from a vote of no confidence, and then Palpatine becomes like Emperor. Spoilers, I guess, for Star Wars. But so I was looking into it, and yes, he was mad there was an action figure, because it's dumb. But he also only took the role because he wanted to work with Natalie Portman, because he was a huge fan of Leon the Professional. And when he got on set, which he had to like fly from Australia to the US or England, wherever they were shooting, he's like, hey, George, where's Natalie? And George is like, right there, and pointed to a white square on the wall. Because she wasn't there, and that was just for eye lines, and they were doing like all of it on green screen, and he was so mad and remains so mad.
Great story, Alex.
Thanks, Jeff.
Speaking of Senator Palpatine, we have our own Senator Palpatine with us today, Craig Smeaton.
Oh my God, what an intro. Jesus Christ.
You might remember him from last week when not only did he win the second episode of Deep Cuts, but we also did a 30 on 30 just about Craig for his introduction. It was the most in-depth introduction I've ever. It was like you're watching like an 80s sitcom and they do like one of those flashback episodes. You're like, hey, do you remember when? But this episode was all Craig Smeaton. So he's back again defending his crown. Craig, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here, I guess. Is that what people say?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody likes being compared to the main villain of like 6 Star Wars movies. That seems rude.
At least it's before the lightning to the face, or is it after the lightning to the face? Palpatine.
He's also the butler in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. So, I mean,
very good.
That's a deep cut. So we have Craig Smeaton with us. we have another contestant tonight with us. Some of her favorite films include True Lies, Mean Girls, Twister, Wedding Crashers, and Bridesmaids. So just like a lot of wedding movies. Like if we could get 27 Dresses and, Runaway Bride on this list, I think we'd be all set. Her name is Hilary Conahan. She's a project manager and a serial movie rewatcher, which I think is key for this game. She enjoys wine and every franchise of The Real Housewives, and in her own words, a real basic bitch.
Hello.
She blames her fear of being kidnapped/murdered on the 1996 movie Eye for an Eye with Sally Field and Kiefer Sutherland. She made me do some quick math here, which tells me that she was 9 years old when she watched that movie. So I think it's like a little humble brag there that she's like, look at me, I'm so young. But yes, welcome to the show, Hilary Conahan. So happy to have you with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. And in my defense, I was trying to say I was young watching a super scary thriller. So I was rocked to my core. And to this day, I am terrified of answering the door for the Amazon delivery man. So I don't.
Is that something you watch? Like, I know you have like older brothers and sisters. Was that a movie they put on, or were your parents just like, we'll let you watch whatever?
My mom loved spending time with me, but watching what she wanted to watch
Fair
in
enough.
the evenings.
Yeah,
so
I do that. I have a memory from when I was like 7 years old, sitting at the kitchen table and looking down a dark hallway downstairs into the TV room on I'm old, so the TV was probably 19 inches, and my sister's watching The Exorcist.
Ooh.
And she's like, you can't watch it. You have to stay in the kitchen. So I was still watching it, which was almost scarier because like, at least if I had been in the room with her, I would have felt maybe a little protected. But here I was by myself at a kitchen table eating pizza, looking through a dark hallway at a tiny TV of a girl like just projectile vomiting everywhere. But I still love that movie though.
But did you as a child? I bet you had nightmares.
Oh, probably. For sure.
Yeah.
I probably wet the bed several times.
Jeff still hasn't had a good night's sleep. In like 40
No.
years since he saw it, he's never had a good night's sleep.
Are you saying I don't need the sleep apnea machine, Alex? I could just get some therapy and get through this?
Yeah, exactly right. It was just The Exorcist. But I have a question for Hilary because I also love Twister. I think it's amazing. It's my favorite movies as a kid. Are you excited for Twisters?
I have heard they are building upon the franchise, and I cannot wait. I hope they do it justice, and I hope Helen Hunt is back.
I was initially like, this is not a movie that we need a sequel to. Like, whatever.
True.
But I love disaster movies. And the first season,
same.
I'm like, I'm in, and I'll see it, and it'll be great. And I'm going to love it, I'm sure.
Yeah, me too. I'm right with you.
So why don't we jump into the game? We know what happens now. I have a movie in my head. I'm going to ask you all to try to guess what the movie is, and then we'll decide who goes first, second, and third. Hilary, since you're the new kid on the block, what is your movie guess?
Okay. Since I listened to previous podcasts, I have my movie ready, and my guess is The Fugitive with Harrison Ford.
You know what? It's not necessarily a good guess, but it's a good
Oh.
deep cut movie. Like, it's got a lot of people in it. It's a
It
good
does.
deep cut movie. Craig, returning champ. What's your guess, my friend?
I agree with Fugitive is such a good deep cut movie. I pray for the day. If you do that without me, I'm going to be very upset. But the movie I have in my head is Tommy Boy.
Ooh. And you know what? If you're a Canadian, Tommy Boy's a pretty good deep cut movie too. There's a lot of minor Canadian actors in that movie.
I've never seen Tommy Boy. I don't think.
Wow.
I've maybe seen some of it, or I've maybe seen some of Black Sheep. But in my head, they're kind of the same.
Very similar. I think Tommy Boy's the stronger movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes.
They're
agreed.
screening it at the Fox this month or next month, by the way.
Are they?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, maybe that's the way to see it, theatrically, with a crowd.
Alex, what is your pick?
How does this work? No, I'm kidding. My guess is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Huh. Once again, nobody's even close. So because it's Mother's Day coming up on Sunday, I chose a movie with what I thought was pound for pound the most kick-ass mother of all time. The 1982 animated feature, The Secret of NIMH.
What an obscure movie, man.
It's not that obscure. It's a
I
classic.
think I saw it once as a kid.
Yeah.
I think everyone saw it once as a kid and never saw it again.
No, I saw that movie like 12 times. And that mom is kick-ass. Like, considering she's a mouse, the things she goes through for her children is pretty unbelievable. Okay, so none of you even picked a movie really with a mom in it. Like maybe Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy's got a mom.
Oh, Derek.
Bo
Bo
Derek.
Derek,
Bo
yeah,
Derek is the mom.
stepmom.
There's no moms in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. The Fugitive. What's her name? Seal
David
Ward.
Spade is pretty mousy.
You always have a good argument for whatever you pick every week.
I'm gonna have to go with Craig, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but I'm gonna go with Craig again. So, Craig, where would you like to pick? First, second, or third?
I'll be number one, I think, again. But before I forget, you mentioned the sleep apnea machine. I think that's a sponsor, potential sponsor for this show.
Yeah.
Oh,
CPAP,
boy.
look out.
This episode is brought to you by Flonase. I don't even know what mine is called. Okay, so Craig is first. We got The Fugitive, and we got The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Hilary, you're new here. I'm going to let you decide where you want to pick. Do you want to go second or third?
I'll go second.
Okay, Hilary's going second. So, Alex, you're in at number 3.
Great.
And now it's time to give you guys movies. All right, make sure to write these down. So,
Got it.
I asked Hilary what kind of movies she liked, and she did mention disaster movies. So I wanted to give you guys at least one disaster movie. I may be wrong, but in my opinion, this is the mother of all disaster movies, the 2004 action adventure, The Day After Tomorrow. Also from 2004, a film that, while it does not have a mother in it, has a lot to do with a mother. The 2004 dramedy Garden State. And then to tie it all together, because honestly, those two movies were not super deep, I wanted to give you guys one that had just a ton of people. So we went with the 2007 comedy Knocked Up.
Oh, boy.
Which
I haven't seen any of these in a real long time,
Which
Jeff.
also is about mothers. So, and I'll give you the heads up, there are 3 people that cross over between these 3 films. So don't be afraid to, just take someone for some points, because you never know. They might appear in more than one movie. Craig, going to give you a second. We can cut this little pause out after, but we'll give you guys a second to think about it. Write down some ideas that you might have, and then we'll hop right into it.
I've written down everyone I can think of.
And you're already done?
Names. Yep. It's not great.
But it's the star of Knocked Up and the star
it's
of
the leads
Garden State. Yeah.
of everybody.
No, I think this is a good one. Like, Knocked Up is incredibly deep. Like, my sheet is full of. Craig, you are up. What do you got for us?
I'm going to go with, again, I'm going to start with a person whose name I should know that I'm forgetting, but one of the characters, a mother playing, I won't say what character is, she's the mother in Garden State, Anne Dowd, I think her name is, and she was Aunt Lydia.
Wow, that was not the mother I thought you were going to go for in this movie.
Me neither.
Aunt Lydia from Unrecognizable, I must say.
Much younger and she's much more petite.
Much less like Aunt Lydia in The Handmaid's Tale.
In The Handmaid's Tale, and also from The Leftovers, where like back to back she plays two of the
so
worst
I'm going to go for Anne Dowd.
Anne Dowd from Garden State.
I'm just happy that I pulled her name out of the hat.
I always confuse her with renowned character actress
Margot Martindale?
Margot Martindale.
Yeah. Well, they kind of ascended at the same time, like from obscurity became, and so then I'm sure they were up for the same parts a lot too. So.
Yeah, no, you could. Yeah. They're interchangeable at times. So 14 points for Anne Dowd.
Okay, great.
That's a solid pull. Hilary, you are on the clock.
Well, okay. Day After Tomorrow, huge movie, and I think you said her name in one of your openings.
I did. I did. I kind of was like, wait, why do I know her name? I shouldn't really know her name, but go ahead.
But she's in a bunch of stuff, but her name is Cella Ward.
Cella Ward plays...
And that is Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, a guy.
I think we all know the lead. You're okay.
Yeah. So 6 points for... Is it Cella Ward?
Cella.
I think it's Cela, but it could be Cella.
1E.
Yeah.
All right. So a solid 6 points.
Ward. Okay.
Yeah, she's waiting for the ambulance to show up with that little kid in the hospital. It's really sad. Yes. Alex, you have 2 picks.
Okay. So, in The Day After Tomorrow, which I should know better, because 1, I loved it, and 2, I watched it like 6 months ago and remember nothing. But there's a weatherman or a reporter in that movie that gets hit by an Angeline billboard. And I don't know the actor's name, but he's in Somebody Somewhere.
He's in Somebody Somewhere, and he makes St. Louis sushi in that show, which is like a dill pickle wrapped in cream cheese and ham, and everyone gets food poisoning from it. The actor's name is Tim Bagley. And Alex, you hit a daily double. because he is also a gynecologist in Knocked Up. That is the first one that inspects someone's uterus. So he is 14 points in Knocked Up, and he is 13 points in The Day After.
Whoa.
So you pulled a 27 for Tim Bagley.
And watch me still come in third.
Is this thing over? Is it over, Alex?
Yeah, I'm out. Now it's all going to be me guessing people that aren't actually in it, like I do for 0 points. And then, I mean, it's pretty famous that he's in it, but in Garden State, Jim Parsons.
Yes, as the knight from medieval times.
Yes.
Jim Parsons for 12 points. Doing well here, my friend. Hilary. Are you going to let Alex run away with this, or do you got something good for us?
I was hoping maybe to go over.
She's like, I was going to say Jim Parsons, but
yeah, stole it from me. I'll go with Knocked Up Kristen Wiig.
Yes,
I like the confidence.
Yeah, you know what? I almost forgot, and
Tighten it up.
I forgot about it until I watched it again this weekend, and I was like, oh yeah. Kristen Wiig is in this movie. Let me see. There's so many people in this movie. I got to scroll down to find her name. She is worth 10 points for Kristen Wiig.
Hold
on. Mr. Craig Smeaton, you have 2 picks.
I'm going to go with so many things to go. Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk, who works with Kristen Wiig. He is the producer of the E! Show. So he's also 10 points for Alan Tudyk.
And then I'm going to go with Jean Smart.
Wow. Yeah, see, that's the mom I thought you were going to go for when you said Ann Dowd. Because, Jean Smart has maybe a bigger part, but she's worth 12 points for Jean Smart as she is sleeping with Jim Parsons. What an odd combo. Jean Smart.
Talk about a Big Bang Theory.
Get out of here.
Okay.
More like an intelligent designing women. Not bad.
Like
it was okay.
Pretty good.
Hilary, we're back to you.
You're no hack when it comes to comedy.
Oh, I was going to say that, Craig. Well done.
Okay. Day After Tomorrow, there is a girl in it who gets, I don't know, they're in med school or something. Her name's Emma something, but I don't know her last name. So what is the rules on that?
So you're trying to tell me about someone
in the Day After Tomorrow,
but you don't know what her name is. Can you think her real name? You don't know what her real name is.
Correct. It starts with, it's her name. First name's Emma, but her last name escapes me.
Can you give us anything else that she's in?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Can you think of anyone else and maybe save that for later? I'll let you
think about it.
Yeah. Do you have another guess right now?
I mean, can you give me Dennis Quaid?
I can give you 1 point for Dennis Quaid. I can totally do that. Dennis Quaid.
Yes. I'll run with it.
1 point. I think I know who you're talking about, and I don't want to say anything else.
That's fine. I'll think on it.
All right, Mr. Young, 2 picks.
So I'm hoping I'm not thinking of a different Apatow flick, but I'm gonna. Is Jay Baruchel in that one?
Jay Baruchel's in it. He's got his big Canadian tattoo on his chest. He walks in when the baby's being delivered because he thinks they might need help, and then he immediately walks back out. Jay Baruchel, 6 points.
Great. And then also, because I guess their roommate's in it, Martin Starr. I'll take Martin Starr as well.
Martin Starr is growing a giant beard, and they make constant jokes about him looking like the Unabomber and stuff like that.
Cat Stevens. Yeah.
What was it like when you changed your name from Cat Stevens to Youssef? Yeah. He's worth 8 points just because he's a little less known than Jay Baruchel is.
Right.
But solid picks. Martin Starr.
I'm pleased with the turnout of those ones, Jeff.
Whoa. That was good.
Yeah, I don't have a Martin Starr, but I've got a Jay
Baruchel. Hilary, what do you got for us? Did you figure out this girl's name, or do you have something different?
I did. She was in another movie. I think Sean Penn was in it. But anyways, her name is Emmy, and it's Emmy Rossum. Emmy Rossum.
Yeah, right. She's from Shameless, isn't she?
And Mystic River.
Yes.
Mystic River.
TV count? Mystic River, yes.
So Emmy Rossum, she's worth 4 points. She's in it quite a bit.
She is.
But less known than Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, I know.
Craig, you have your 4th and your 5th pick.
Okay. I'm going to go Garden State. I forget her name, but she plays one of the main characters, Aunt, in the beginning. of the film. She's also in Only Murders in the Building as one of the co-op board. Jeannie, maybe, I don't know, but she's got a very big glasses, and she's
I once you said Only Murders, I'm going to give it to you, and that
Yeah.
she's the aunt from the beginning. Her name is Jackie Hoffman.
Jackie Hoffman. I would have got it, I think.
She
Yeah.
sings at the funeral. She sings once, twice, 3 times a lady at the funeral, and then she makes Zach Braff a
The
shirt
pattern
that is made from the same
wallpaper.
fabric that the wallpaper is.
Iconic shot.
15 points for Jackie
Okay.
Hoffman.
Okay.
And you have your 5th pick.
Okay. So many things from Knocked Up that I could do. So I'm confused about the points because I know a good pull from. I'm going to go Sheila McCarthy Day After Tomorrow then.
Sheila McCarthy, 14 points. She works in the library in New York City, where they are burning books to keep warm.
Oh, she's got glasses, right?
Yeah, she works in the library. She legally has to have
Yes.
glasses.
I don't know if she has actually glasses in this movie. I just watched it over the weekend, and I don't think she does.
No, then it's not a realistic disaster.
Hilary, you have your 5th pick.
Okay. I'm going to go with Day After Tomorrow again. I've seen that movie so many times. I do own it. But I don't know his name. But he was in The Lord of the Rings. I believe he was like the main My Precious guy.
Andy Serkis?
No. He's got an Irish accent.
Okay. Yes.
And you've just got.
And he's in Garden State.
Garden
as well.
State.
He
As
is
the dad.
He's someone's dad. And
Yeah.
so 6
Yeah.
points for Garden State, 10 points for Day After Tomorrow. Because he's one of the lead scientists.
Oh, is it
He
Ian
is,
Holm?
yes.
Yeah,
He's in
Ian Holm,
Scotland
yeah.
at a weather station.
Okay.
I thought of them both, and then but I didn't put it together. Yeah,
And that's why actually I did Garden State, because I was looking for someone who had been in The Day After Tomorrow, and I was like, well, what's Ian Holm done? And I was like, oh, Garden State. That's about a mom, kind of. So that's a good pull.
Thanks. I'm back in the game.
Yeah, and he's really the only notable person at that place. But yeah, and they all die.
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
Alex, you have your last 2 picks, and you know who all dies in that movie? Canada.
True.
Oh, yeah, we're so fucked.
Complete write-off.
Yeah, they're like from here down, and we're like, we're a lot north of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in the theater and being like, uh-oh.
Should I move?
Alex, you have your last 2 picks.
Okay, so one is going to be that thing I do that you hate where it's a total swing.
Sure.
So Knocked Up. Is Maude Apatow in it at all?
Of course she is. Maude Apatow from Euphoria and King of Staten Island. She's worth 12 points.
And then I'm sure he's worth 3 points at best, but I will take Peter Sarsgaard in Garden State.
He's 4 points. 4 points.
What a win.
Peter Sarsgaard for 4. Husband of Maggie Gyllenhaal.
In real life?
In real life.
In real life, which ties us to The Day After Tomorrow.
Why, Jeff? Nobody said that person's name.
I know they haven't. But Hilary, what are you going to say? Hilary, it's your next pick.
Okay.
And last one.
And last, so this better be
you
good.
Better make it good. I think you need some big points here if you can do it. And I'll tell you guys, there's still 2 people. Nope, there's 1 person left that is in multiple movies.
I'm going to go with Knocked Up this time. I believe BJ Novak's in that.
He is. He is the young, hot nurse. Or doctor.
Nurse?
Like, he's like, oh,
He's in the hospital.
Yeah, he's like, you guys are married, right? And they're like, no, we're not. And he's like, oh, cool. Like,
That is
Yeah.
that's a
And he's
good
like, it's
pull.
on her.
That's a really good pull. Well remembered.
he's 18 points because he's literally got 1 scene. And there's like
Wow.
just so many doctors that they go through that, yeah. Good one. Craig, your last one.
Okay, give me a second. I've got a good one, but I can't remember what he's been in. I only know who he was married to.
Is it Jake Gyllenhaal?
No. Who I saw, by the way, on Saturday night in real life. Still
Oh, that's right,
next
because
to
you
me.
were in New York City.
Yep. Mhm.
That's awesome.
We compared abs.
How did you fare?
But no,
A
it's
close
closer
second?
than you think. Yeah.
All right.
Closer than you think.
I'm gonna go Loudon Wainwright, the doctor.
Loudon Wainwright.
Who's a Judd Apatow favorite. Yeah.
He is her Katherine Heigl's main
The guy who
obstetric.
leaves.
And then he doesn't show up when the
Yeah.
baby is born.
Yeah.
16 points. Loudon Wainwright.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, I'm not going to do up the points yet. I think this one's going to be very close.
Yeah, very close.
Let's see here. Knocked Up. We didn't even touch any of the big ones. There's also Jonah Hill, obviously. Alex, you got Maud Apatow. We left Iris Apatow on the board. The little
Are they
sister.
different points?
They're the same amount of points. I'm just saying, like, if you knew one Apatow sister, you could have.
I don't know Iris's name.
Okay, fair
It's
enough.
Iris.
I mean, you could have been
know.
like, she was in Funny People or something like that. Harold Ramis is Seth Rogen's dad, and Joanna Kearns from Growing Pains is Katherine Heigl's mom.
Very nice.
Bill Hader, Ken Jeong, Craig Robinson,
The Bouncer.
Adam Scott.
Yes, Leslie Mann's in it.
The other crossover was Canadian actor J.P. Minot, the Doppelgänger.
Oh, wow.
Because he is the cameraman for your pick, Tim Bagley, Alex, in The Day After Tomorrow.
I did not remember that at all.
Catherine Reitman is in Knocked Up from. Did you know that she's in Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes, I do, Jeff.
I never connected those people together. She is.
I know she's in I Love You Man. She's one of the friends in I Love You Man.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then there's so many. You got like Jessica Alba, Steve Carell, Andy Dick, James Franco, Eva Mendes, and Dax Shepard with no lines, just in the background.
Wow.
So that's all those ones. Garden State. You got Ann Dowd, which was one of the ones I was like, this would be a good one. Craig, you got Jackie Hoffman, but you missed out on, also from Only Murders in the Building, the woman who gets murdered in season 2 of Only Murders in the Building. Her name is Jane Hounsell.
Oh, she's
the one that she's a blind woman in the doctor's office in Garden State whose dog keeps humping.
Oh wow, that's
Zach Braff.
I was trying to go with the guy who used to be a fiance of Christina Hendricks, weird looking dude who was the
dude from Devil,
Jeffrey Arend.
The guy who tried to I don't know, he was an Amway salesman or something.
He's working in a hardware store. He's like, I'm looking for good people who have good ideas. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Day After Tomorrow, you guys hit pretty much all the big ones. Glenn Plummer, the guy whose car gets taken by Keanu Reeves in Speed, is the homeless guy in The Day After Tomorrow that has a dog that they live in the library.
Yes.
He's also in Showgirls.
That's right. That was one of his best known for. Yeah. And then my favorite one is an actor by the name of Rick Hoffman, who in The Day After Tomorrow, they're trying to get out of the town and he's like trying to get on a bus and he just gives the bus driver like $100. He's like, just take me wherever you can. He's from Suits and he's in all those Judge Beauty commercials that we keep seeing on TV.
I love those commercials, Jeff.
Yeah, it's that guy. And Craig, you'll like this one, an actor by the name of Matt Adler, who is the older brother in Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a deep cut. That would have been a lot of points. So,
question for you, Jeff. Question about Day After Tomorrow. The guy who works with, and maybe Hilary will know this because apparently she's an expert on this movie, who works with Dennis Quaid, and then like the fissure opens in the ice.
So there's two guys,
and somebody falls through, and the other guy gets like stuck on the other side. Are they anyone?
Yes.
In my head, it's somebody.
The guy who dies that cuts the rope is J.O. Sanders. And he was in, I believe you just watched Kiss the Girls recently.
No, I've never seen Kiss the Girls.
He's in Green Lantern. He plays the head of the Asian guy.
He is Blake Lively's dad, I think, in the Green Lantern. And the other guy, there's a younger guy, and the actor's name is Dash Mahook, who is from like Ray Donovan. And he pops up a lot.
He's his brother.
My brain inserted an actor in one of those roles, and I'm like, oh, one of them's Adam Pally for sure. Like I had it on my sheet.
Oh, you were about to pull it? No.
I was going to guess. I'm like, I'm going to go with an Apatow. That seems like a safer guess.
All right, so let's do up some points here. Hilary, BJ Novak, and Ian Holm. That's 34 points for those two. Emmy Rossum, 4 points. That's 38. 1 for Dennis Quaid gets you to 39. 49 with Kristen Wiig. 55.
Ooh,
that's a good day.
Strong.
That's a good day.
Good opener.
Sorry, I didn't write down. Loudon Wainwright was how many points? 16.
I think he said 16.
He was your last pick. So 16 for Loudon, 14 for Sheila McCarthy. That's 30. 45 when we add in Jackie Hoffman. 57 when we get to Gene Smart. 67 Alan Tudyk. And 14 is 81 for Craig.
There's no shame in losing to Craig. It's like losing a foot race to Donovan Bailey. It's just going to happen.
Well, let's see, Alex. You had 4 points for Peter
Sarsgaard. You could win, Alex.
12 for Maud Apatow, that gets you to 16. 8 for Martin Starr gets you to 24. Jay Baruchel gets you to 30. Jim Parsons gets you to 42. Tim Bagley gets you to 69.
And what was Craig? Craig was in the 80s?
Craig was 81. So Craig wins again with 81, even after
Wow.
your giant Tim Bagley pull. Right off the
Nobody
top.
beats Craig unless it's Interstellar. Nobody beats Craig. It's the only movie he hasn't seen.
Like, honestly,
He
if you-
still comes in second.
yeah.
Do I win a sleep apnea machine?
You do, but it's from Temu, so
It's
it's
it's previously enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yes, and you have to go through that horrible night in a sleep clinic where they like hook you up to all those machines with all the
But
stuff
it's
on it.
actually at Jeff's house.
Yeah, he runs the clinic. It's
Yeah,
the Deep
just-
Cuts clinic.
It's a side hustle.
Make sure to bring your own pillow if you could, because yeah, I've had to do that twice, and it's horrible.
Bring your own pillow somewhere?
No, do a
BYOP.
like a sleep clinic.
I see. BYOP would be the best
Buy-up.
part. Anybody invites me to a party and they're like, but bring a pillow. I am going to that party. It's like, we all just nap. I'm like, that's my vibe. That's my vibe for a party.
Craig Smeaton, you just got back from New York City and you saw Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, when you say you saw Jake Gyllenhaal, was it
I was
a passing?
standing. No, he was actually talking to somebody who I had met earlier that night. He was the house manager of the theater. It was a small theater. It's a show called Oh Mary I saw, which is ending this weekend, and then it's moving to Broadway end of June. But it's he actually was on Seth Meyers 2 nights ago. The actor they were on Seth Meyers 2 nights ago, and they are the star, and they wrote it, and it's very funny. And as they describe, a lot of famos instead of celebrities, they call them famos, go to the show, and we missed Pedro Pascal by one night. And Melissa McCarthy was there the night before. On our night, we had that I noticed we had Jake Gyllenhaal, who was waiting. So, but it just walked right, so like standing next to him, and then Samantha Bee and Jason Jones, CanCon, and the guy, I think his name is Chris Perfetti. I don't know if you watch Abbott Elementary, the younger teacher.
Yeah,
he looked very different. And Troye Sivan, which a lot of people don't know, but singer, kind of a very interesting singer. The interesting part about that was that this was Saturday night, 10:15. Julie, one of my daughters, she was really into talking to him. And I said, he just goes hi to him. But he did have an energy about him. He was on the phone. We heard him talking about like his Uber or his car wasn't there. There was something. And then, so he wasn't didn't have a vibe of that he wanted to talk to anybody. And then we find out later on that he's the guy who he introduced Dua Lipa on SNL that night.
Really?
Because she was and he was wearing the same thing, same hair, same jacket, same whatever. So it was so he was up there in 2 hours. This was down in the West Village. He was on TV, so it was kind of cool. Like, that's why he was concerned
A little
about
stressed
the
out,
car.
yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. So don't judge. Troye Sivan was the big takeaway from that play. He had a lot going on.
I hope the story was going to end with his car wasn't there, so we gave him a ride.
No,
And long story short, we were in his music video, and we're all best friends now.
Yes.
Like, that's
Uh-huh.
amazing.
Yeah, he's an actor. He was actually. I'm not sure what Troye Sivan identifies as, but he's there. So Troy's he's a very good singer. Love Simon soundtrack. Was in the movie Boy Erased. Very talented individual. And there were some other kind of theater writer people there, but I didn't quite. And then Julia got to meet. We met Cola Scola later on after the show. Very, very nice. And then other cast members. It was a very, very nice night. I felt very cool.
Are you going anywhere fun this weekend, Craig?
Mother's Day stuff. There's a thing called Mayfair this weekend in where I
It sounds
grew
like
up.
some midsummer shit, right?
No,
there.
it is. No, it's like an old fair. It's quite old, but it's just neighborhood community fair that was where I grew up in mid Toronto. It's kind of old timey fair fun. They got like a beer garden and that kind of stuff. So yeah, how about you guys?
Hilary, you're a mom.
I am.
Is your family celebrating you?
Sort of. I'm hanging out with my mom and my kids, and we're just taking it easy around town. But it's some real one-on-one bonding time, that's for sure. Sleepovers, the whole bit.
And now, when you say the town, do you mean the town of Whitby?
Yes. Within the GTA, Whitby, Ontario.
Cool. That'll be fun.
It's gonna be a wild time.
Yeah, jumping.
Alex, do you have to head out to see your mom, or did you scratch that off your list?
No, my mom is coming into town on Sunday because she and I tickets to go see Rick Mercer and Jan Arden at Roy Thompson Hall.
Okay.
Which is something that she will love, and it's something that I
will tolerate.
Will have a perfectly fine time at.
Yeah.
I love the name of that tour is hilarious.
What's it called again?
The Will They or Won't They tour.
Yes,
because they're both
hilarious.
Yeah, it's very funny. Yeah.
Very clever. I'm sure it will genuinely be a fun time. And then tomorrow, I'm driving out to see my partner's aunt, who is in Essex. Actually, not even. She's south of Essex, so it's like further than Cleveland.
So it's south of a place that nobody knows where it is.
That's exactly right. Okay. It's like if you hit Windsor, you missed it by like 20 minutes. It's so far away. It's about a 4-hour drive. So we're gonna drive out there and try and make like a road trip out of it. Apparently, I guess there's a bunch of wineries and stuff in Essex, so maybe we'll do a wine tasting or something while we're out there. Yeah.
I don't have anything.
What are you planning for Sandy? She's a mom. It's Mother's Day.
She is.
Sandy's your wife's name.
I think we're gonna go out on Saturday for dinner or something like that. Just because Sundays are usually crazy to go out, but we're gonna go up and see my mom on Sunday and do a barbecue or something like that. But yeah, nothing big. This was the highest scoring game we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel? Were these movies? They weren't too tough, were they?
No.
Okay.
I was relieved.
Okay.
No, they're good, solid cross section and stumpers too. Like
okay, cool.
And some good, like knocked up's good. Like okay, I can at least go at mid. You know, the stuff came to mind. You didn't have to go. You know, so it was great.
This is our third episode. This is the episode that I am now going to. I mean, I've already posted stuff on Twitter and stuff like that, and nobody cares. But I'll start doing it to like people I actually know. I'll sending it out there. So you know, be prepared for your social media accounts to just start blowing up.
Wait, is there a Deep Cuts Twitter account?
Yeah, there is. It's Deep Cuts the Game at Twitter or whatever.
I genuinely don't follow it.
I follow you jackass, with that Twitter account.
I didn't know this existed.
And
I'm on the show. And
I keep posting things like, who would be your deep cut from Dodgeball? And like,
I love that.
And I put a picture up like, and nobody responds.
Not even me.
Not even the co-host who's here.
I didn't know it existed.
Who's here for every episode.
I should probably follow that. I'm going to do it right now because I will forget.
Yeah, please do that.
I don't.
And then once you've heard this, if say you want to try to play the show, just reach out to me, and we'd love to get new people on here.
Is the vetting process still as
tough as it? Yeah.
The police background check and all that stuff.
Yeah, vulnerable sector background check and everything like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much. Alex is looking for the Twitter account.
It's so hard to find.
But
what is it called?
Just go to people who follow you.
That's too long a list, man.
Too many. It's popular.
Like 11 followers.
Okay, well, thank you very much, guys, for playing Deep Cuts the Game, the movie trivia podcast show. I'm your host, Jeff Penn, Alex Young, Hilary Conahan, and of course, the champion, Craig Smead. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Jeff.
you.
Bye-bye.